People say a man can run a whole company but still fail to manage his own heart. Arif Khan, one of the youngest and most focused CEOs in the country, believed that love was a distraction, a luxury he couldn't afford. His life was built on rules, routines, and responsibilities. Every minute, every meeting, every decision was calculated. He had everything that defined success, and nothing that made life feel alive. He didn't realize how empty he truly was until fate placed him in front of a nurse with tired eyes, a quiet strength, and a smile soft enough to melt every wall he had built around himself. For that evening he arrived at his cousin's wedding, not with excitement but with obligation. He walked inside the beautifully decorated hall filled with golden lights, laughter, dancing relatives, and music echoing all around. But none of it touched him. His eyes stayed on his phone, emails, deals, approvals, signatures. His world never stopped. Even at weddings, work followed him like a shadow. He tried finding a quiet corner away from the noise when suddenly someone bumped into him. Papers slipped, a tray wobbled, and before anything could fall, he instinctively reached forward and held the person steady. It was her. Zara. A girl who looked nothing like the glamorous wedding crowd around her. She wore a simple lavender dress, her hair loosely tied, her eyes warm but visibly tired, as if she had come straight from a long shift. She apologized with a breathless smile, and Arif found himself staring longer than he should have. There was something calming about her presence, something real. She bent to gather her papers and he helped automatically. He noticed the medical forms, the hospital logo. "Nurse?" he asked. "Yes," she nodded. 12-hour shift. No sleep. "But my cousin is the bride, so here I am." Her honesty made him smile without realizing. She was exhausted, yet her spirit was gentle. She wasn't pretending. She wasn't impressing. She was simply existing with sincerity he wasn't used to. When she recognized his name, she didn't react with greed or excitement. She only said, "Must be stressful, running so much." He was stunned. No one ever asked how he felt. They only asked what he could offer. For the first time in years, Arif felt seen, not as a CEO, but as a man who was quietly breaking under pressure. She told him about her job, her patients, her mother's illness, how life had taught her to be strong and soft at the same time. And he listened like a thirsty man finally tasting water. Hours passed. Music changed. Guests gathered. But Arif stood with her, talking, smiling, forgetting everything else, but work never forgot him. His phone rang, an urgent deal. Millions at stake. A board waiting. He had to leave. Zara simply gave a small, understanding smile. "It's okay. Your world is different. Duty calls." He wanted to say he wished it didn't. But he left, feeling something heavy sinking inside him. And that night, he realized that for the first time, he didn't want to return to the empty comfort of his success. Days went by, filled with meetings and pressures, but Zara's voice and smile came back to him again and again. She had entered his life for a few moments but left a mark deeper than years of memories. He wanted to see her again, but fate didn't take long to answer. One evening, his grandmother collapsed. Arif rushed to the hospital, terrified. He ran through the emergency doors and froze. Zara stood there. In her scrubs. Focused. Calm. And when she saw him, her worry softened into recognition. She guided him gently, her voice steady. "She's stable. She fainted, but she's going to be all right." Arif felt something shatter inside him, a mixture of relief, fear, and gratitude. Zara sat with him, talked to him, comforted him. When his grandmother woke up, she smiled and whispered, "This girl, she is special. Don't let her walk away." Zara checked on his grandmother every hour. She brought water for him. She told him to breathe. No one had cared for him like that in years. And Arif felt something shift inside, something warm, unfamiliar, but beautiful. After his grandmother was safe, Arif walked to Zara. "You were right," he murmured. She tilted her head. "About what?" "That I needed a break from being the man I've forced myself to be." She looked at him with the same understanding that drew him in the first night. "You're human too, Arif. You're allowed to feel tired." And that was all he needed. He asked her if he could see her outside the hospital. Not as a CEO. Not as someone important. Just as a man who finally wanted something real. She hesitated, her job was tough, life unpredictable, but finally she agreed. Coffee turned into long conversations. Conversations turned into laughter. Laughter turned into moments where her hand would brush against his, and neither of them pulled away. Arif started adjusting his schedule, something he had never done for anyone. Zara started smiling more, sleeping better, feeling lighter. They became a part of each other's days without noticing when it happened, but love always comes with questions. One evening, she asked softly, "Why me, Arif? You could have anyone." He looked into her eyes and said the most honest words of his life, "Because you saw me, when I didn't even know how to see myself." She had tears, not of sadness but of realization. She had fallen too. They faced challenges, his work pressure, her hospital duties, media attention, misunderstandings, nights when neither had time. But every morning, they woke up choosing each other again. Their worlds were different, but their hearts were aligned. Arif learned to slow down. Zara learned to dream bigger. He found peace in her kindness. She found safety in his devotion. They balanced each other like night and dawn, different yet meant to meet, and slowly, beautifully, they taught each other the truth that changed everything. Love doesn't always enter with fireworks, sometimes it enters softly, through a tired nurse at a wedding and a CEO who finally learned how to feel.